Eternity 2025. This is a fantasy romantic comedy. A couple, Joan and Larry, are traveling by car to visit family for Christmas. It's not Christmas, it's a gender reveal party. It's funny that in my mind, I don't really like the idea of gender being decided when a baby is being born or even before. It isn't really fair to um, trans and non-binary people. Still, that's what happens often. People have gender reveal parties. Suppose so long as they don't assume that people will always be that that gender, then fine. Um, they talk about this party slightly in a disdainful way, I think. And uh, because they're grandparents and Joan isn't well, she's she might have a terminal illness. I think that's because Larry covers um, this place where um, she probably gets intravenous feeds or something, or chemotherapy. I'm not sure, but it's showing on her arm, and so he makes sure that it doesn't show. That her sleeve, Joan's sleeve, is down. Um, and they think they better hide the bad news until after they've uh, things have settled down after the baby, um, is starting to uh, grow a little. Um, but oh gosh, when they get inside, there's all these balloons. I mean, that's what gender reveal. I've never been to one. I think it's more of a USA thing than the UK thing, although I think some people do it over here. But it seems to involve all sorts of things like fireworks or balloons. In this case, it is balloons. And so the parents to be warn the grandparents, don't pop those balloons, whatever you do. I mean, all the family's supposed to arrive and be settled before this grand revelation happens. And Larry has a penchant for pretzels. Uh, and just as he is biting in, a photo has been shown around of Grandma Joan with a handsome chap who it turns out isn't Larry. It's a previous boyfriend of Joan's from um, 67 years ago. I think that's yeah, it's way back, and he died in the Korean War or something, or who that seems to be the story. Um, and this puts out Larry, but he's munching into this baked good, this confection, and then he grasps at his throat because he's choking. And then he falls back onto the balloons, and they, of course, pop, and he gets some pink confetti in his hair as he's transported into another dimension, and that's just the start. So this is it. Um, he arrives in what is effectively purgatory. It's called the Junction. It's like yeah, what is this? He asks. Oh, your AC will explain everything. It's a really busy place, and there's uh, people wandering about, but they're telling him his AC will be along to inform to get him up to speed with what's happening. But it is like, not the junction as in Llandudno Junction or Watford Junction, but it's a bit like Euston. I was thinking, yeah, kind of. I mean, it's just like people going everywhere, and there are trains, and his AC does come along, um, afterlife coordinator. That's, that's who is going to explain to him exactly what's happening, reassure him, because, of course, it's a bit of a shock to arrive in the afterlife. I mean, all he was at a party one minute, starts choking. I mean, of course, it's not funny, but it's funny. I mean, it's just like, dark humor, I guess. I saw this last night, preview screening, uh, Cineworld Unlimited, um, early screening because it's coming out. It's been released later this week. So I told some friends about it, the film today, and they seem to think is it horror or something? Not that keen on it from what I've just described. But no, it's comedy, it's romance. It's like because what happens is, Larry is not, his older self. He's much younger in age. The first few moments, I thought, "Oh, was that his son? No, no, he isn't. It's someone else." Um, but Barry Pa Primus plays the old Larry Cutler, but Miles Teller plays, Larry Cutler for most of the film in this, junction, and whom Joan married for 65 years, so way back from the 60s, I guess, the start of the 60s, if not the late 50s, um, depending on when this is set, but if it's set in 2025. Um, and, um, is it, let's see, so Elizabeth Olsen plays Joan, for most of the film, but, the someone playing the older version of her, oh gosh, Be Betty Butley, I think, um, and, well, there's a whole pile of oh, I prepared it, but I can't read, the notes, but, I yeah, someone asked me who starred in this film, and then Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen are fairly famous, well known. But, because the older Joan is dying, she actually does turn up. The AC, another AC looks after her, and, they meet, in this junction because they get about a week, and it's almost a bit like the Business Design Centre in Angel, or I mean, I guess, conference centres anywhere, yeah, generically conference centres where you've got all these like, squares or segments or booths, sort of, um, little areas that explain, that they're in a way trying to sell different forms of eternity, because what it is you get about a week, you get 7 days as a whole to, decide which train you want to catch to a, um, a life where you're gonna spend eternity. You aren't gonna die again, and there's all sorts of places because there's like, a world without men. There's, you've dealt with the last man. That's one of the places. One of the places is queer world, and there's all these, um, you know, bio health. I was sort of, yeah, sort of, oh, what's it called? Like, alternative therapies. And it's almost like, now you're in the afterlife, you don't need to worry about science anymore. So for all the, I think it's a sort of, it's to please conspiracy theorists, all the anti-vaxxers, and perhaps all alternative therapists, and not necessarily, I mean, a wider range of people, but I was simply thinking about the people, who've caused so much um, chaos with their COVID theories, and that's, all, oh gosh, I won't go into that, but there's like little nods to the multitude of different ways that you can live your life, and it's not judgmental. So whether and that's the lovely thing about it. It's all, your kind of world. I mean, actually, there are some that have been archived, or that don't, aren't allowed now, such as, sort of bigoted Nazi world or something like that. It's just like, oh my gosh. But they're totally out of fashion. But then there's just so many, any hobby, any um particular life choice, or not just life choice, obviously, anything that suits you, any pursuit in life, um, is you can catch a train to that place and spend your time for eternity there. But the crucial thing is, and you can go with your loved one. Oh, and the other thing is, because like Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen's versions of Larry and Joan, um, are at a particular age, but not everyone's at that particular age. It's just you take on, uh, the appearance of the best you, or the happiest you. So throughout your life, the time that you are happiest in your life, that's what you go back to. So there are some people who are happier later on in their life, and that's who they are in their new lives. So there is a diverse range of people. It isn't just young people. Um, and oh yeah, I just see it's just like such a wonderful kind of fantasy. I mean, this station, yeah, it's kind of just like a station. I mean, there's a bar, and some people have more or less made it their life, and they've just got a job in the bar, and they're reluctant to move on. They're diffident. They're undecided about what to do, and there's no pressure. And the only pressure is, once you've decided, you cannot change your mind again. Otherwise, the people will pursue you. It's just like, if you try and escape and go through a red door and try and get back to the junction and move somewhere else, that's like the worst crime. And oh my gosh, I loved it though. But the punishment for that crime is to end up in the void, and that is the equivalent of hell. I mean, it's just like being in outer space. It's like a nothingness, and there's a lot to this film, and I love the first bit. Um, as it developed, because it's like going on, it goes on quite a while. Maybe it was because I was tired. It felt um, a bit laboured, because in a way there's a love triangle, and there's like decisions to be made, and the decisions seem to be going one way, and then they seem to go in another. And I was thinking, hmm. And given all that thing about there's no pressure, but then there is pressure, you can't change your mind. And if so, there is this thing about, well, I don't know, it kind of towards the end, I felt it was a great film, but I felt it was like too a little too long in its intensity towards the end. As in, I found it. Maybe it's just because I might see it again, but I thought, oh gosh, how's it going to end now? Is it going to be like that? Because you know, there's only a few possibilities. I thought, and it ends up one particular way, and then I thought, all right, I'm going to score it. I think because I really like the early part, I am going to score it fairly high, 8.75. But I think it would have been a good 9 or even higher if it hadn't been if it had been just a bit shorter, I think, and it wasn't that long. I don't can't remember how long, but I know that it was getting on for about it was just under 2 hours, and I felt at the end, oh, I was, I thought, yeah, really fun film, but I'd have preferred it to have been just a bit shorter. So, that's my verdict. I'd love to know what you think. Please leave a comment. Please like if you like this review. Do go and see it. And thanks if you subscribe to this channel. Please hit the notification button. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.